the most terrifying experiments in the history of science, mysteries that have shaken millions. Throughout history, humans have always longed to explore the secrets hidden deep in the natural world, seeking to unlock the laws of biology and bend the order of the universe to their will. However, in the journey to seek knowledge, there have been many experiments that have exceeded the limits of ethics, opening up horrifying stories that make people terrified. So, what is it that drives scientists to conduct these experiments, and can they completely change the natural order of the world we live in? All the answers will be in our 15-minute video today, so please pay attention. First, Human Z. Dear friends, the idea of a human Z, that is, a chimpanzee-human hybrid, has captured the human imagination for centuries, ever since humans and chimpanzees began their separate evolutionary paths. The concept has been the subject of not only myths and science fiction, but also profound questions about ethics, science, and the nature of humanity. However, the story seems to exist more in the realm of hypothesis than in scientific fact. But in 2018, it began to be more controversial when evolutionary psychologist Gordon Gallup claimed that a successful experiment had been conducted to create a human chimpanzee embryo at a research facility in Park, Florida, since the 1920s. Gallup said that the researchers had fertilized a female chimpanzee with the sperm of an unnamed man. As a result, the embryo developed, and the chimpanzee mother even gave birth to a live baby. However, soon after, the scientists involved in the experiment realized the serious ethical issues that this experiment could cause. Fearing both scientific and ethical consequences, they decided to euthanize the newborn. This story did not stop at controversy, but also opened up a series of questions about the boundary between scientific creativity and social ethics. Today, we can see some chimpanzees who look surprisingly similar to humans and vice versa. That makes people wonder whether such hybrid creatures are possible. Will advances in genetic technology bring this idea from science fiction to reality? And if humans are able to create such creatures one day, how will we face the challenges, both ethically and in terms of responsibility towards them? What do you think about this topic? Please join us in the discussion in the comments section. Second, robotic hybrid beetle. In 2006, scientists took a bold and unique step by attaching a computer chip to a living beetle, allowing them to completely control the creature's movements. It may sound like something from science fiction, but this is a completely real experiment, unlike previous projects. While researchers have turned insects into biological robots before, this time they created an insect that can both follow commands like a robot and control itself when left unsupervised. Imagine a tiny beetle that can fly freely, but can also receive and carry out remote commands, like a miniature living robot. This experiment has many potential applications, especially in emergency situations such as rescue after a natural disaster. These robotic insects can quickly move through narrow areas to search for victims in places that larger equipment cannot reach. Experts believe their speed and flexibility could make search and rescue more efficient than current methods. Beyond rescue applications, the experiment also opens up new possibilities for robotics. Instead of having to build a completely new robot, scientists could simply integrate components like chips and radios into a living organism. This solution is not only simple and effective, but also cost-effective, potentially revolutionizing the way we develop and apply technology in the future. Third, mouse with human ears. The mouse with a human ear was one of the most eye-catching examples of the advancement of regenerative medicine in the late 1990s. This experimental mouse had a human hand growing on its back, or more precisely, a cartilage structure that resembled the shape of a human ear. Of course, the photo was not edited as many people imagined. To create such a structure, researchers seeded cow cartilage cells into a biodegradable scaffold shaped like an ear, then implanted the scaffold under the skin of the mouse's back to hold the desired structure. Gradually, the cartilage grew inside the scaffold, creating the shape and size of a hand. This experiment was created for the purpose of cosmetic surgery and the reconstruction of certain body parts. It is worth noting that no gene editing techniques were used in this process. However, the image of the mouse with a human hand on its back has created a fierce debate about ethics and biointervention techniques. Joseph Vacanti, who laid the foundation for this work, once joked that the mouse lived happily after the amputation. However, in fact, some scientific reports have noted that these mice often die after the experiment is over to serve for further research. Of course, we cannot deny that this experiment will pave the way for many advances in regenerative medicine, but it also raises ethical questions. In any case, it cannot be denied that this experiment has opened a new era for regenerative medicine, allowing humans to go further in regenerating damaged body parts. But at the same time, it is also a wake-up call about human responsibility for biological experiments. Are we going too far? What do you think about this issue? Leave your thoughts in the comments. So, which side do you support? Let us know what you think. Fourth, woolly mammoth. The woolly mammoth is on the road back from the brink of extinction. Thanks to incredible scientific advances, researchers believe that within the next 5 years, they will be able to create a hybrid embryo with mammoth traits such as long, thick hair, a thick layer of fat, and cold-adapted blood by editing the genes of Asian elephants. Such impressive traits would mark a major milestone in the journey to resurrecting the giant species. While creating a living individual remains a huge challenge. What's even more special is the team's plan to grow the embryo in a mixed womb without the need for a surrogate mother, taking the revival process a significant step forward. The project began in 2015 and has since added 15 mammoth genes to the DNA of Asian elephants to 45, with the ability to plow through snow. The mammoths would help the cold penetrate the ground, preventing the permafrost from melting in the tundra. This would prevent greenhouse gases from being released into the atmosphere. An ecosystem simulation suggests that the return of the mammoth could reduce temperatures in Siberia by up to 20 degrees Celsius, raising hopes for a positive impact on the global climate. Fifth, human-pig hybrid. The idea of human-pig hybrids, which seems like something out of science fiction, is slowly becoming a reality. Scientists are now mixing human stem cells with pig embryos to create creatures called target birds. Their daring plan is to grow human organs inside the animal's body, opening up the possibility of producing organs for transplants in patients waiting for life. The process is complicated, but also full of potential. First, scientists use gene editing techniques to remove parts of the pig's DNA, preventing the development of certain organs. Then, human stem cells are added to the pig embryo. These human cells fill in the gaps and develop into organs that the pig lacks, such as a heart or liver. The hybrid embryo is then returned to the pig to continue developing for a certain period of time. The experiment is currently strictly regulated, with the grafts allowed to develop for a maximum of 28 days and no births. While this is a step closer to being able to grow human organs inside animals, ethical concerns are inevitable. The research raises profound questions. What constitutes the boundary between human and animal, and what happens if we cross that line? The breakthrough offers great promise for transplant medicine, but there is still much to consider before this technology becomes a reality. Shesta narluga. The narluga is a rare and strange creature that emerged from the combination of a narwhal and a beluga whale. The discovery began in the late 1980s when a fisherman stumbled upon a creature that was unlike any whale he had ever seen, with gray skin and a distinctive narwhal horn. The fisherman kept its skull for nearly a decade without knowing exactly where the creature came from. After many years, a researcher discovered the skull and suspected its origin. It was not until 3 decades later, through DNA testing, that the truth was revealed. This was the first hybrid between a narwhal and a beluga whale. Both species are purebred, and this hybrid is a very rare biological phenomenon. The combination of a narwhal and a beluga whale is extremely rare because their habitats are clearly separated, and the opportunity for them to mate is almost non-existent. The birth of a narluga is therefore considered a special event, estimated to occur once in 1,000,000 births. Adult narluga possess unique traits from both species, such as cold tolerance and powerful jaws. This phenomenon is not only surprising, but also provides valuable insight into natural hybridization between Arctic animals. It helps scientists better understand genetic plasticity and how species adapt to harsh environmental conditions. However, due to the large genetic differences between species, hybrids like this remain rare and do not typically survive long in the wild. The discovery of Narluga has opened a new chapter in the study of Arctic biology and biodiversity. 7th, dodo bird. The dodo is an extinct species that has become famous through fiction and traveling exhibitions, but it has also become a symbol of human-caused environmental destruction. In early July 2007, a major discovery was reported from the island of Mauritius, east of Madagascar. Researchers found the best-preserved dodo skeleton to date, marking a major discovery for the bird. What is special about this skeleton is that it could provide invaluable DNA samples, opening up the possibility of reconstructing the DNA of the lost bird. The flightless dodo was a victim of hunting and invasive species brought to the island by humans. When Portuguese and Dutch explorers arrived in Mauritius, they brought dogs, rats, pigs, and cats, which devastated the local ecosystem. These species not only competed for food, but also consumed dodo eggs because they laid them on the ground. Although dodo meat was considered bland, humans hunted the birds for food and also captured them for exhibition abroad. Uncontrolled hunting and the introduction of exotic animals eventually led to the extinction of the dodo by the end of the 17th century. The new discovery of the skeleton has attracted scientific attention, especially regarding the possibility of reviving the bird through modern technology. However, the idea has been highly controversial, raising questions about the ethics, feasibility, and impact of reviving extinct species on the current ecosystem. Can dodo really come back? And if so, can we protect them better this time? 8. Super ball python. The super ball python is an unusual hybrid between a ball python and a boneo with a unique pattern of blue, black, and brown. This hybrid snake has attracted attention for its attractive and distinctive appearance. When fully grown, super ball pythons can grow to between 3 and 5 feet in length and can live up to 15 years in captivity. It is a durable and attractive choice for reptile enthusiasts. Surprisingly, this is not the first time that this popular ball python has been seen being bred to produce new strains. While hybridization occurs naturally, the sheer variety and complexity of the species makes super ball pythons all the more special. There are currently around 56 recognized hybrid species of ball pythons, with many more awaiting recognition from reputable herpetological organizations. These hybrids not only expand the choices for reptile keepers, but also contribute to the rich diversity of the snake world. Leave your thoughts in the comments section. Let us know what you think. 9. Hybrid bear. A hunter in Nunavut accidentally discovered a rare hybrid bear, a hybrid of a polar bear and a grizzly. The bear was found about 260 kilometers north of Moba Field. At first, it looked like an Arctic fox or a small polar bear from a distance, but when you got closer, its shape made you freeze for a few seconds. This proved to be a hybrid bear with a unique appearance: the white fur of a polar bear, large brown paws and claws, and a head shape similar to a grizzly. According to scientists, interbreeding between polar bears and grizzlies is not a rare phenomenon. The two species are genetically similar, and hybridization between them is becoming more common due to climate change. As temperatures rise, grizzlies are beginning to move north, causing their ranges to overlap with those of polar bears. This results in hybrid bears, often called growlers, when the father is a grizzly and the mother is a polar bear. The existence of these hybrid bears is a clear demonstration of the impact of climate change on Arctic ecosystems and their species. It also raises important questions about how to conserve these hybrids, as well as the ecological balance in a region that is experiencing profound environmental changes. With some of the strangest and most controversial experiments in the history of science, we can't help but ponder the line between ethics and progress. These experiments not only bring about amazing scientific achievements, but also raise questions about the limits that we can overcome. Are we ready for hybrid creatures, breakthrough technologies, or advances that can change the future of humanity? Leave your thoughts in the comments section below, because your opinion is an important part of discussing these humane issues together. If you find this video interesting, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next interesting content. Thank you for watching. Have a great day and see you in the next videos.